interesting looking mic. From Russia. In 2 weeks, I went to... There is an enormous gap between the recognition of Indigenous peoples' rights and the realization of those rights in the everyday lives of Indigenous peoples. And that gap needs to be narrowed, obviously. Peoples in many countries of the world, and regarding partly there's a disconnect between parts of governments that address Indigenous peoples' rights and the parts of governments that promote natural resource development. In a disconnect, I mean those parts of government often simply don't coordinate with each other. So we see two, in many ways, opposing the policy objectives being pursued. One, promotion of Indigenous peoples' rights, and the other, extraction of natural resources. So a lot of the work has to do with simply coordinating those two policy regimes and initiatives on the part of governments. The regional levels. The challenges are significant. The challenges are significant because we're talking about problems that are systemic. We're talking about patterns of violations that date back literally centuries, and those patterns are hard to reverse. But little by little, I think we're seeing movement towards that reversal. And it is Indigenous peoples that are the ones today suffering most the effects of climate change, including Indigenous peoples in the Arctic and also in small island nations and elsewhere in other ways. But among those who are suffering direct consequences to their everyday lives and severe consequences are the Indigenous people of the Arctic.
Contemos agua, no tenemos educación buena.
Moras ni ran man kung partisan ni rang naga tutulungan naman yan naka-compute